I'm Shannon from Skip to My Life. On today's episode, I'll show you how to create an incredible backyard summer party. Let's get going. If you love to live an upscale lifestyle on a downsized budget, I am here for you at Skip to My Life. I created these backyard party ideas for my son's rehearsal dinner. He was married last weekend, and I can't wait to share the big reveal with you at the end of this video, so make sure you watch all the way through to the end. Our first project is a giant wreath using a hula hoop from Dollar Tree. Now, I took my sharp blade and removed that adhesive covering from the hula hoop. Underneath, you will find a nice black ring. Once you've completed that step, you can empty out the little pellets inside that make that hula hoop sound. I really don't know what those are. They're tiny pieces of plastic. And then just reconnect the ends, and I applied a bit of glue to make it sturdier. Next, we're going to provide an anchor for the floral display we'll create on this hoop. So I took a black pool noodle. Now you can use whatever color works with your decor, but black was perfect for mine. I cut a slit down that side and it fit very nicely over the hula hoop. I decided next to add a bit of hot glue to each side. Now remember, whenever you're using hot glue on foam, you will have some melting, so just a little bit is all you really need. The color theme for our party was black and white check with red and gold accents. So I started with this black and white checked ribbon I purchased from Hobby Lobby. It is a wire-edged ribbon. If you're interested in how I'm making this bow, I am attaching in the description my bow making tutorial, and you can follow those directions. I left about 2 to 3 feet of tail on each side of that bow because, as you'll see in just a minute, I am going to make the design encircling that hoop. Next, I made a smaller bow from red and white floral ribbon and attached both of those to my anchor with a long zip tie. If you're enjoying this video, let me know by clicking the thumbs up button. And don't forget, subscribe to Skip to My Life if you haven't already. I wanted to make the bow appear as if it was trailing up the sides of the hoop. So I took the ribbon at about 4 to 5 inch intervals and just made a small dot of glue gun glue and pressed that loop in. Now this is done very inexactly and very loosely, so you may want to kind of fiddle with it a little bit to get the look you like before you actually glue it down. My last step was to add some greenery. Now this is a mix from Dollar Tree and also from Walmart, as well as some florals, and I believe all of those were from Dollar Tree, until I had the look that I wanted. And then I simply glued those pieces in place with a little bit of glue gun. Well, this was such a wonderful, fun occasion for me to prepare for. My son has been dating his new wife for 5 years, so she already feels like a part of our family, and you'll get a little sneak peek of them later on in this video. For this next project, we're going to be making some lanterns using 2-liter water bottles. Now, this is a great project if you want a large quantity of lanterns, but you just don't want to spend a whole lot of money. All you'll need is to cut out a section of that lantern, cut off the bottom, and then as you will see, I'm going to glue some plastic plates to make a base, and then a plastic bowl for the top. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to let me know by clicking the like button. I would love to have you join the Skip to My Life community by clicking that subscribe button. My husband helped me with this project, which made it even more fun. He cut out all the pieces and I assembled them and then spray painted them once they were all ready to go. We ended up with about 24 lanterns. To be honest with you, I lost count, but we did recycle many different water bottles, soda bottles, and it was a lot of fun. To add a look of uniformity to all these different sizes, I glue gunned a plastic shower curtain ring to the top as a handle. I also spray painted all of them a satin black and then went over them with just a little bit of white spray paint to make it look aged and galvanized. I wanted to add that accent color of gold, so I just sprinkled a little bit of very fine gold glitter over the top of each lantern when it was still wet with paint. You could certainly stop with that step, but I wanted to add a little whimsical accent, so I did glue gun some greenery to the top. Then I made what I call a figure 8 bow from the jute twine. Now, if you're curious how to do this bow, just go ahead and watch the bow tutorial video in my description box and it will walk you through. So I am a brand new mother-in-law and I would love your words of wisdom in the comment section. If you have great mother-in-law advice for me, please share it there. Dollar Tree sells some really beautiful little electrovotives that change color, and I wanted to show you what those look like in these lanterns at night. I just love that effect and I knew it would be really stunning. For our next project, we're going to create some table centerpieces. Now, the first thing I'll be using is one of those religious candles from Dollar Tree, along with some regular school glue, some fine gold glitter that I purchased at Walmart, and some greenery and florals. Those are all from Dollar Tree. And the last item is some of the thick jute rope from Dollar Tree. To start, I'm painting school glue directly about halfway up that candle. I didn't even stop to remove the label because you won't be seeing it. It will be hidden underneath. Next, we'll be pouring that fine gold glitter from oblong container back and forth over the candle until I get the best coverage that I can. I want to tell you a funny story about this glitter. I've never used so much of this extremely fine glitter, and I will tell you, it got everywhere. It was on my dog, it was on my couch, it was in my hair, it was even in my car. So my husband was very long-suffering about this project, but I think he was happy once this part was over. You'll want to let that base coat of glitter dry overnight and then go back in with some watered down glue to fill in any portions that didn't get as much coverage of glitter. Now, you could skip this step, but I find that adding that second layer of glitter makes all the difference and really taking this project up a notch. Once your glitter is completely dry, take some hairspray and spray it thoroughly all over that taper. Now, since this is something you're going to be introducing fire to, and fire and hairspray don't really go well together, I encourage you to wipe down the glass portion that's still exposed, and then you'll also see later that I took these candles outside and let them thoroughly get air before I lit them. Now we're going back in with glue gun and gluing on that rope, as well as the greenery and the flowers. This color scheme could be easily adapted for a patriotic themed party this summer, or for some kind of a shower, a housewarming, a graduation party. The sky's the limit, but I just really enjoyed taking the rustic theme of the black and white check up a notch with a little touch of gold. In the end, I created 12 of these candles, and if you watch all the way to the end of the video, you'll see how I used them in the centerpieces. For the second part of the centerpiece, I'm simply using a glass candlestick from Dollar Tree, which I painted white with chalk paint and then covered with the gold glitter. Now I glued on top of that candlestick a cylinder glass vase from Dollar Tree, and then simply added similar embellishments to the first candle that I created. If you're interested in purchasing bulk quantities of some of these Dollar Tree items, the easiest way I've found to do that is to order online and have the items delivered to your local store free of shipping charge. My husband and I just did that, and I'll be featuring some of those items in upcoming videos, but I've also provided a link to the Dollar Tree website in my description box. If you're new to Skip to My Life, I am so glad you joined us today. And if you're coming back, you know our story. My husband and I recently downsized from a 6-bedroom McMansion to a tiny 3-bedroom love cottage after our kids were grown and flown. The question for today is, are you planning a backyard summer party? I would love to hear about it in the comments section. I hope that this has inspired you to maybe spread out and ask a few people over and enjoy your backyard this summer. As you will see in the big reveal at the end of the video, we have planned a buffet line. So I created 2 of these cylinder candle style centerpieces to be on either side. For the third element of this centerpiece, I simply took a black candle stand that I purchased at Dollar Tree and applied some E6000 glue to those edges where it would meet the candle. Now, a lot of the glass candle holders I'm using here are just used containers that I've saved from candles that I have burnt down over the year. Our final project will be a Farmhouse fresh table marker using a small glass jug along with a riser. These are little parfait cups from Dollar Tree. I also used some of the plastic ice cream cups from Dollar Tree. Now, the reason I love these containers as risers is because you get more than one for $1, so it is just a great value. You'll notice that many of the items I'm using are recycled jars and containers that I otherwise would have thrown away. So I simply put the word out to friends and family that I was looking for these kinds of containers. And in that way, I was able to make almost all these decorations for pennies on the dollar. Certainly much, much less than I would have paid had I bought them in a store. I started by chalk painting each of these 2 objects white and then gluing them together with more E6000 and also with glue gun so that it would set up very, very quickly. And as you'll see, this is what it looks like when it's dry. Now we're ready to start embellishing this cute little table marker. And I'm gonna start by glue gunning some jute twine to the very top to cover up the spot where that lid screwed on. I sure hope that you keep coming back to my channel all summer long, because let me tell you, I have some fun ideas planned and I cannot wait to share them with you. For our next step, I'm applying school glue straight from the bottle and then just a few messy strokes of a thick paintbrush to give the appearance of some of that gold glitter just spilling over the top of our little milk jug. For as many glittery projects as I made, I was surprised how little of the glitter I really used. I don't even think I used half of the container. And that was because this glitter is so very fine and I was able to capture all the runoff in the second container. To really highlight the ridges on this stand, I wanted to go over it with a dry brush technique with some black chalk paint. And the effect was exactly what I was wanting. Now, I originally planned to use these as table markers, either with table numbers on them or just to write out what was served. But when it came down to it, as you probably know if you've had a party, we're just running out of time. So I decorated these with the little chalkboard tags I purchased from Dollar Tree, adding some greenery and a red gem, and fully intended to write on them with a chalk pen. That never really happened, but they sure did look adorable, and I hope that you will use this as inspiration to adapt this project to your event. If you are already subscribed to Skip to My Life and you've been following my journey, I just want to tell you how very much you mean to me. The support and wonderful comments that you all leave are so cherished, and I read every single one, so thank you so much. Once I'd created all these wonderful decorations, we boxed them up and took them with us down to Florida where the wedding happened. My family members really pitched in to help me throw this wonderful party, and I want to give my special thanks to my sisters and their husbands, my daughter and her boyfriend, as well as my nephew and his wonderful wife. The highlight of the evening was a song that my husband sung for our son, which he had prepared. And there was not a dry eye in the place, let me tell you, but the whole event was so much sweeter than I could have even anticipated. And it just was a perfect lead up to the wedding day. Thanks so much for coming along on this adventure today. Don't forget, comment below and let me know your very favorite idea. If you haven't already, I would love to have you subscribe and join the Skip to My Life community. Until next time, make it a great day.